Seems like I haven't seen you guys in a long time, so what questions do you have for me?
How's the bye week?
Good. Yeah, put in some good work last week and got an early start on Utah State. And so, we're going to have another full practice today and be ready to roll. So I think the guys had some rest over the weekend with not playing on Saturday and get caught up on academics. So away we go today. Be ready to roll.
Let's tackle the unexpected question. What's the quarterback situation?
Looking promising for us. I mean, with Jaron, I think Jaron will be okay to play this week. We'll see. And then, Zach's progressing really well, and doubt for this game, but we'll see how it's a day-to-day thing for him. And then once he gets able to throw the ball, we'll kind of have to wait and see how he progresses. But he's ahead of schedule when it comes to his injury.
Do you know who's going to start yet, or is that going to be determined during the week?
Nope, don't know yet. And so we'll figure it out as soon as we get closer. Ask me or someone else tomorrow. We'll see.
What stats or maybe like intangibles are you going to be looking for from Jaron and Baylor during practice to ultimately decide who's going to be that starter on Saturday?
I think just competition, and then seeing who gives us the best opportunity to win. That's what it comes down to, and we'll be practicing, and they'll both get turns with the ones and the twos, and see who can make their group function better.
Philosophically, when a player is injured, does he lose his job as far as your coaching philosophy goes?
Well, I mean, it all depends on when he comes back. When an injured player returns, are they 100%? And the only way to tell is to put him through some competition. I don't think you can forget about what they've done in the past and how good they were when they won the spot, but you also can't discount the fact that other players have gotten better too. So I think the only way to do it is compete, and we'll see the best. We'll play the best, and it doesn't really matter from week one and throughout the season. If someone beats somebody out, we'll make the change, and that's with every position.
What do you feel is the strength of your offense heading into the final month?
Well, I think they got some momentum going, and I think they've been able to respond to the some new guys getting opportunities to play, and I've been really impressed with the depth. And then you hate testing your depth, but going into the season you're going to be tested in different spots, and been impressed with the coaches and the way they've been able to organize a game plan and the way our players are executing it, and how others are stepping up. So I think that's been a huge strength for us.
Speaking of the depth, I mean, what position maybe do you feel is the deepest right now? Because it has obviously been tested, that depth.
Well, I mean, we took 4 O-linemen out of the mix, and so O-line's pretty good, when you take out half the group. And so I've been impressed with them. And then, even looking at the running back position, what A.J. Stewart and Coach Grimes and those guys have done to that group has been nice, and quarterback position. So I think anytime you go to your third-string guys and you're able to still do well and have a good good performance like we did against a undefeated ranked team, that's a good sign.
Gary Anderson said he doesn't have bye weeks at all in college football.
Mm-hmm.
He's having, of course, 2 this year. The team does. Do you prefer them, or would you rather just play straight through?
No, I mean, I take advantage of them. It all depends how you approach it. I think this bye week we're a little different than what we did last bye week, and so I think trying to get the result that we want, you have to change things up. But it is what it is. I'm not going to try to find 14 games in there. If we could, then we would do it. But it came at the right time for us to heal up in some positions, but also to get our depth better and get guys some more experience on the practice field and learning their assignments and getting the technique and the fundamentals down, as well as developing others. And so it's part of college football. I want to use it, and the main goal, though, is to try to get the result that we want in Logan, and that's what we started with last week.
How has your approach to this bye week differed from the last one?
I think the intensity was still the same. We try to work as hard as we can in practice, and I think for us it was a little bit more trying to get Jaron ready and get some other guys in place with the injuries that we mentioned before, get them in place to function. Now it's just part of the deal where guys are expected to perform, even if it's their first time being on the field. Right? That's this last week, talking about last week in the bye week, we probably did a little bit more. We did more work than we did the week before, and knowing that we were going to have a second bye week. But I think this is a strong push towards the end of the year. Guys are going to have to step up, and we're going to have to, go through some hardships even in the practice field.
What do you make of
this year's version of the Aggies?
Yeah, I think the last game was a little difficult to watch because I think the elements disrupted a lot of the throwing that Jordan Love can do. So and I think Air Force took him out of the game by just possessing the ball, and I thought that was a good game plan for what Air Force had to do. But for us, it's a different beast. They're at home. They play really well at home, and they're capable of putting up a lot of points, and so. Defensively, we're going to have to be on top of everything. I'm glad we got a week to prepare for them, and we got another game week of film, so we're going to utilize all that and try to be ready to get perform really well up in Logan, and looking forward to the game.
Kalani, one of the things a lot of times happens during bye weeks is recruiting. Just talk for a second just about how recruiting has changed over your tenure as a coach, and also what's the biggest challenge that BYU faces with regards to recruiting?
Oh, recruiting is always it's an ongoing thing. So I think there's just an opportunity for coaches to get out and go see some kids. We've been evaluating players for a long time, and so the way we evaluate, and I think it's kind of interesting that this whole star system, everybody's intrigued with it, but and the rankings of the recruiting, but we have to evaluate guys from what their ceiling is and what their potential is, not really according to recruiting service, things like that. And if you look at some of the evaluations we've done in the past, I think you have to kind of look at some of the guys that we've evaluated early on, and they've been players, and they seem to get a lot of stars all of a sudden, So our evaluation process doesn't change. It's just what everybody dictates who's at what certain ranking at some time. But I look at a lot of the guys that didn't have a lot of stars on our team, and they're going to be big-time factors in college football and have an opportunity at the next level. So all I'm worried about is trying to get guys that fit our program and guys that want to play at BYU, and we'll take shots at some guys that we feel can be difference makers, but they have to fit the lifestyle at BYU, and they have to fit the ability to function and to I guess make it with the academics here and how hard it is in school.
When you have a performance like you guys did against Boise State, how do you make that the new norm moving forward as opposed to just one game performance?
Well, that's college football consistency, and that's every level really. And so I think every coach is trying to find a way to be great consistently, and for us to be at that level, it's taking some time, and you're dealing with a lot of different factors that go into it. And so, but that's right now at this moment is what every football coach is talking about, trying to find a way to perform at a high level and do it over and over, week to week, and that's kind of the battle. I think the teams that do it the best will be the ones at the end that have an opportunity to play for the championship, and that's what you're seeing in college football. And you're seeing some teams that are struggling with some games week to week and still find a way to win games. I think winning is really hard, and maybe easy to a lot of different people, that are out there. But guys, when you're functioning with getting a team ready, and you're dealing with a lot of different factors that go into the variables of trying to get a win, that becomes hard. But that's what we're committed to do, and I'm looking forward to. I'm glad we got an extra week to prepare and try to be as consistent as we were against Boise State, and looking forward to, even with that performance in the win, there are a lot of things that we could have done better in that game too, and a lot of things that we could have done to help ourselves earn the win earlier, and not have to come down to, going for it at the end.
Some strength of schedule metrics have deemed your guys' schedule at this point as a top 10 schedule nationally. What benefits do you think you've seen for your team in facing such a difficult schedule at this point?
Well, it's forced our guys to be ready every week, and I know that the performance hasn't been our best, and that's you're considering the competition, but also all the other factors that we mentioned today in this press conference. And so I really don't care about what anyone else says about our schedule. All I care about is beating Utah State right now, and that's what our focus on this team's got to be. Just focus on what we got ahead of us, and good week work last week, and we got to looking for if we can have that same type of performance this week. I think we'll be ready.
How gratifying is it to see former Cougars that you coached being on real successful NFL teams this season and having a big impact?
Yeah, it's been fun to watch those guys perform, and when we get the chance to watch them. But yeah, they're doing exactly what we thought they would do, and I think we have a lot more on our team right now. A lot of young guys that I think will have an opportunity to play next level, as well as some of the seniors that might be able to make that impact in the NFL as well.
with all the positives coming out of the last game and the way you guys played, what do you think is the easiest to translate into this week from what you saw?
Oh, we just have to be physical. If you're talking about easiest, let's just be a physical team on all three phases, and that's something that we got to be committed to do, no matter what the weather looks like.
You've got a long-term relationship with Gary Anderson, obviously. How does it change? I know you talked about Kyle and whatnot, where you kind of lock things up ahead of time, but how does it change your relationship when you're coaching against a guy you've coached with so long?
Oh no, it's not about the coaches, but I have really close friends on that staff, and know a lot of the a lot of the kids on the team too, on the roster. So Gary and I won't talk this week, but we'll talk afterwards. And Justin Enna and I are, we're basically inseparable when we're here in college. So a close friend of mine, and I know a lot of guys out there, Frank Miley and TJ Woods. Those guys are good friends of mine. So, but it's not about the coaches. I said this before, that we're not the ones suiting up and playing the game, but we'll focus it on the kids and let them make the plays, and then we'll hug each other after the game.
How has Gary influenced your approach to the game and your coaching style?
Well, I mean, he gave me a chance when he was head coach at Southern Utah, and was able to bring me along to Utah when he became defensive coordinator there, and he's been influential to me in a lot of different ways, in coaching and how you treat and recruit players, and so he's been a mentor of mine. I've mentioned him and Lavelle and Kyle and all the others that have been a huge impact in my coaching career, but not just in coaching, just as a person. I think they've helped me become better people.
Do you have any personal memories of being a part of a team that played up in Logan? Anything stand out to you?
As a player?
A player, coach, anything?
I just want the wheel back. That's all. I mean, I have tons of respect for Utah State and their fans, and just looking forward to the competition, and I know they'll be ready, and Utah State will give us their best shot. That happens in these rivalry games, and like I said, my job is to make sure that they get ours in return. So tons of respect, and wish them all the best of luck, except for this week.
Do you feel your guys will?
Last couple questions.
Do you feel there will be any challenge for your guys to be up and ready for this week's game?
No, none whatsoever. Our guys have been up and ready for every game. They've had the energy and the excitement, and the effort has been there. So that hasn't been an issue at all season long.
With the new staff up there at Logan, what are some of the differences from the last couple of years of this Aggie team and some of the new challenges they present this season?
A lot of similarities. I think that Justin's going to do a little bit of what he does as a coach, as a defense coordinator, but I think I see a lot of similarities. They're using the strengths that they have on their team in every phase, and I think that we were familiar with them a little bit on how they function. You got to remember, Justin was defensive coordinator for Ed Lamb as well when he was a coach, and so at Southern Utah. So we're seeing a lot of similar things, but I think for the most part they're doing it right by using the strengths of their personnel on the field. They have a bunch of great athletes in skill position on offense and defense, and the return game is money too, because they have a lot of success in punt returns for touchdowns and kick returns for touchdowns, and so they're a dangerous team. And our cover teams are going to have to be on point on punt cover and kickoff cover, but offense and defensively they create havoc on defense and create turnovers, and we have to take care of the football and be mindful of that. At the same time, we have to stop one of the best quarterbacks in college football, in Jordan Love, and he's got a strong arm. He can sling the ball, so then he has a lot of great targets to go to. So that mixed with a good core of running backs. So it's a tough task, but we're ready for it and looking forward to the opportunity to play against them.
One of those running backs, Riley Burt, transferred out of here. How involved were you in kind of helping him maybe find a new home when he entered the portal?
Oh, yeah, we talked about a lot of different things. I think it's closer to home for him, and he grew up there in Box Elder, and so I think it's just made sense for him to be that much closer to home and closer to family, and he wanted an opportunity to play more, and that's what why he went to Utah State, and I'm just wishing him the best.
Saw Tyson had surgery last week. Has he decided whether or not he's going to apply for a medical hardship yet?
Yeah, we're all trying to go for that, and it's just a matter of NCAA and what they're going to decide on.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thanks, John.
So,
it's gone.
How you feeling after another bye week?
I feel great. Yeah, my body feel good.
What was the feeling like this bye week compared to the last one? Because the last one you're coming off that tough loss, and then this one you're coming off that big win. So how's it change anything?
Not really. Like, we worked just as hard, if anything, like harder, this bye week and ready for Utah State, and I feel like we're game ready for them right now. And having this week right now to actually prepare for them and like know what they're gonna do, it just helps us out a lot. And having a lot of people coming back healthy, we needed it. First of all, like to get guys from injuries, come back and play, and just gonna help us out a lot. And then getting like those mental reps on the field and like in film. So we needed it for sure.
You obviously, going back to safety is not anything new for you. Just your overall thoughts on going back to that position.
It's like you said, it's not new. It's just you gotta be able to communicate a lot more than at corner, and I love it just being back there. You see the whole defense, like it's exciting, especially having Coach Hadley as a position coach back again. Like he puts me to that level where like I can understand film and like watch a little more film to understand the defense and like scheme what they run, and so it's helped me out my personal goals, and also I feel like it's helping the team out, have me as safety.
How much does a victory over Boise State, if all, enhance the team's attitude, effort, morale, or maybe you don't see a change at all?
It obviously helps us out coming from the losses we had, but it's just like it's on to the next one. Like it's a good win against a ranked team, especially Boise, having them be a rival, and we've been losing to them the past couple of years, and so it felt good beating them. But we had our celebration, we celebrated, and so it's on to the next one. Utah still ready for them.
Some people say that this game means more to Utah State than it does BYU. Do you agree with that, or what's your feeling on that?
I don't know what they say, but it means every game means a lot to us. It doesn't matter who's playing, USC, Utah State, Utah, don't matter. It means a lot to us, and we're coming into the game ready to win. And I know it's a rivalry. We got the wagon wheel that we hope to get back this weekend, but every game is important to us, especially this one too.
Coming off of a loss, the way Utah State did it at Air Force, I'm sure you've seen some of it by now. How much more dangerous can a team be, and how prepared are you guys for a more dangerous team with the way they kind of had their number taken to them, I guess?
Yeah, so Air Force, they're a unique offense, obviously running the ball 90% of the time. So it's different. We know that's not Utah State's game. Like they're going to come out ready to play, especially hating BYU how they do. It's going to be different for them. They're going to come out angry about the game they lost, and then also just it's a rival game, like you said. And so we're going to be ready. They're going to be ready. So we're happy they're going to come out playing their best, and we're going to come out and play our best too.
I know that the objective is to replicate the way you guys played against Boise State moving forward. How do you think you make that the new norm and not just a one-game performance?
Well, every team's different that we play. Boise's not the same as Utah State. Their scheme's not the same, so we're coming in the game focusing on what they're good at, and we're going to stop what they're good at, and the offense is going to focus on what their defense is good at, and they're going to find a way to score on their defense. So every team's different. The outcome might not be the same, but like you said, you got to play to our strengths and what we do best against Utah State.
How does Jordan Love stack up against some of the other quarterbacks you've seen this season?
He's good. I know he's been last year he had like a big season, and this year he's been doing okay. But like I said, it's just another team, another quarterback. We play against great quarterbacks, and he's a good quarterback. But we feel like we can stop him and do what we need to do to win the game.
What was the approach you guys took in practice last week? Was it kind of more like get rest and get rest up for the final stretch, or was it still physical practices?
No, it was physical practice. Like I said, it was a bye week, but it's a get better week too. And so I felt like we got better this bye week we had, and we're ready for Utah State. And like I said, it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be cold, but the strong team's going to come out with the win.
From an atmosphere perspective, what do you expect in Logan?
Man, cowbells. I don't know. I actually seen something on Twitter that's like that Utah State's going to come out playing like they're protecting their dairy farm. So that's how I feel like they're going to come out ready to protect their dairy farm, and we're going to take over. So that's the plan.
You're a kid who grew up in this state. You went to high school in Northridge, obviously. Is this any different in terms of your guys' rivalries compared to Utah? I makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's like the state games are always competitive, and we consider every state game important. And I don't know, Utah or Utah State, it doesn't matter. They're all the same, and we're gonna play them to the best of our abilities.
Any other
The
questions?
last couple of years, they have put up quite a few points. Do you guys take that into kind of use that as motivation, or do you just kind of say this is a different year, new system, new situation?
No, they still put up a lot of points this year, and it's like we know that for sure, and we'll have a way to stop it. That's the plan, and it's just they run that hurry up offense in the field. I feel like the reason they put up a lot of points is because teams get tired, and I feel like we're conditioned enough to stay on the field and keep playing.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Here's James Empey.
How's it going?
We call you older brother of state champion.
Yeah. You should. She's a baller, man. Go AF.
How was the bye week?
It was good. Good. We got a lot of good work in. Then we got some good rest in, so feeling good.
Going into that game, you guys had so many linemen injured. What was it like to see the guys that stepped in, step up, and play the way that you guys played as a unit?
Right. I mean, lots of guys were able to step up and play well. Blake and Clark were kind of the newer guys to the group that was playing, and I thought they came out and they did their best and they played a good game. And so moving forward, we're just trying to keep getting that unit fit together just right and get everybody knowing what to do and how to do it the best that we can. So we're just working on keeping the unit tight and moving forward.
You know those guys and you knew what they were capable of. Did either of them surprise you with their performance, or was it just, that's what I expected them to do?
I kind of expected them to play like that. I mean, they had a good week of practice and have practiced well up until this point, and so when it was their turn, it was just like, all right, it's your turn. Let's get it done. So.
You've had Clark line up on either side of the last two games. What can you do to help a guy out who's making his first or second career start?
Communication is key, really, with regardless of whether it's your first start or your 20th. As long as we're communicating well, everybody knows what to do. I feel like that's just the best thing you do: communication and just making sure everybody stays calm and cool.
You're going up against a team that gave up a lot of rush yards. Air Force, of course, kind of has a unique approach to the game. So how much do you read into that? How much does that affect what you guys look at, or is it, they're different than we are, we got to do our own?
Right. I mean, Air Force is a lot different than we are, and that's true. But they were able to get after him pretty good. Like you were saying, they were able to run the ball effectively and do their thing, and that's because Air Force plays a pretty physical brand of offense. And so if anything, it tells us that whoever's going to win this game is going to be the team that's more physical on Saturday night. And so, looking forward to that. We need to do our best to prepare ourselves for that type of game, and it's going to be, a cold night in Logan, and the more physical team's going to win. So we'll see who that is.
What's the impact of having Coach Grimes on the field as opposed to the booth for your position group personally?
It was cool. Coach Grimes, he's kind of like the O-line guru. He knows a lot of stuff about it, and so that helps our unit, especially. We got another set of ears and eyes out there close by, but it also helps with the offense because he's good at kind of rallying everybody around and getting things going, and so it was just cool to have his presence on the sideline.
What have you seen from Jaron and Baylor as far as how they're approaching this competition this week to be the starter?
I think they're just both excited to get an opportunity to play, and both working hard, working together, helping each other out, and so those guys are two great teammates and two great men, and so they're gonna just do their best to prepare, and whoever the coaches decide is ready to go on Saturday, that's the person, and everybody will support it.
Is Zach still involved out there? I mean, not playing, just kind of putting in his 2 cents.
Yeah, he's involved. He's out at every practice and on the sideline. He's there, kind of leading guys, talking through things, and helping in every way that he can.
Last year, you guys, I don't think you missed a single game, the O-line, due to injury. This year, Is that just a fluky thing, or what can you attribute that to?
I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes you get lucky like last season where you don't have any injuries, and then sometimes the injury train hits and you get a few guys banged up. I think it's just kind of the luck of the draw, especially with the different things that happen. So the best that you can do is just be prepared to have as many guys ready to play as you need, and like we have seen, there's guys in our room that are ready to step up and play. So that's really all that you can do.
Utah State got you guys last couple of years actually. Do you guys think about that or use that as motivation, or is it just kind of, this year's this year, we're not thinking of this?
To a certain extent, maybe. I mean, you look back and you don't want a repeat of what happened in previous years, but you want to kind of learn from your mistakes in the past years and move on to the next game to make them better. And so this year's it's a whole nother year. It's a whole different game, and we're just focused on getting ourselves prepared for Saturday.
As someone who grew up in this state, does this game mean a little bit more to you because of kind of the dynamics of the instant culture and the wagon wheel and growing up around that?
Yeah, I mean it's a fun rivalry game, and people get excited about it, and it's a good time. But when it comes down to it, it's just another football game that you got to prepare for and come out and play well to be able to win.
Any other questions?
All right, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Thanks, Shane.
How good are you in goal?
Not good. Not good. Yeah, if you need a goalie, call my sisters up. Don't call me up.
With the empty sisters on it
Yeah.
instead.
Did you see that article I wrote?
It was it's the first time on the depth chart, but
So it's just
it was shifted over there on
Cool.
USF.
Sounds good.
You were right. Hey, you were banging that drum for years, man.
It's not a hard drum. Here's my other question.
How did you utilize the bye week?
We just got better each and every day. You know, it's nice having a bye week because you can get your mind and your body right. You know, you can rest up, kind of watch football on Saturdays, recover a little bit. but it also allows you to focus on fundamentals. Last week we took a step back and we had like 14 period practices, 16 period practices, but we were working on a lot of individual periods where we focus on, our techniques and, alignments and assignments. So it gave us a lot of time to focus on the small things, so we can prepare this week. And now, Monday's practice is just around the corner, so we get to start up and, hopefully we have a good Monday practice and just carry it on through the next couple of days.
The Boise State game was a while ago now, but we got to go back to the play, of course. What was that like? Describe what it was like for you to be out there for that crucial play in that moment.
Every day we practice the scrum package. We kind of start out practice with it, and we go through plays, and we're going up against, our scout team. We have 20 guys out there at some point because we know it's going to be, pretty crazy, pretty hectic. There's 22 bodies just all in one area on the field, so we know it's going to be pretty hard, but I feel like the players that we have on that field at that time, I believe in them and trust in them 100%, and I know when we were in the huddle waiting for the call, whether it was going to be us to go in, whether it was going to be the offense, or whether it was going to be punt, that my guys were going to come through and, get the push, and the two guys coming behind me, dying, and he was just on, and Kairos were going to, do what they can to help me get through, and that's what happened. I wasn't expecting it to be the way it was. I wasn't expecting my feet to get off the ground and me to start crawling over people, but that's just kind of how it happened, and I'm very thankful that all the guys that were on the team wanted it as much as I did, because, it shows in that play. You got people coming from all angles, flying around and hitting. Everyone is just – it was crazy watching it, and feeling it was nuts, because it's like that's not something you practice for. All right, you're going to lift up Kafensis and he's going to start crawling over people. Like, that doesn't happen. That's just kind of one of those things where you just do what you can, and you're fighting for that 1 yard because it's going to seal the game.
While you were suspended up there, did you have any idea where you were at?
I had a feeling, because I was kind of lucky that we were on that. There was the line that I don't know what yard line it was, but it was like a solid line across the whole thing, right? So I was able to kind of see that in the corner of my eye, and I knew as soon as I got over. That's why I got up, and everyone was kind of like waiting to see if I got over, but I knew I got over just because of that line. But it was pretty nuts getting up there and not knowing where I was at some point. But I think initially we had gotten it, and then just crawling over and everything kind of sealed the deal. And the celebration, it was really cool seeing everyone on the sideline come out, and everyone in the stands lit up. So it was a pretty surreal moment and experience, and something I'll never forget.
With that many people in that small of a space, you got to know they're going to be ripping at it. So you got to find that balance between driving and not driving so much that you put yourself at risk, and have it get stripped.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be the guy to fumble the ball on 4th and 1. That could seal the game. So we practice covering 2 hands in the ball in traffic. That's an offensive mentality right there. But at the same point, you just kind of want to do what you can, and you trust in those guys behind you that are going to help you out. And that's all I did. I got the snap, did my part, and I let all the other guys do what they needed to do, and I believed in them 100%, and it happened, and it worked out. And I'm thankful that they put me in a position to do that, because it's really exciting, and it's a good opportunity to go out there and help the team out as much as I can.
You play a lot of different positions for this team. Is your role kind of a week-by-week thing, depending on the need in a given spot? Yeah,
I mean, whatever the coaches need me, I'm willing to do. If they want to put me a linebacker at safety, whatever I need to do, all the special teams, I'll do it. I love football. I want to play football, and that's just my mentality going into, this season, last season, just day by day, game by game. It's just whatever you guys need me to do, I'll do it, because, my love for the game.
How satisfied have you been with making the decision to come here to BYU? I mean, Wisconsin, Nevada, Duke. I mean, how satisfying has it been to be here?
It's been very satisfying. I love it here. It's my third season here, actually, and I love Coach Kalani and all the coaches that have been here. My position coaches. I've had Hadley as a position coach. I've had Lamb as a position coach. So they're all amazing guys, and they all prepare and work. They push you. They try and push you as hard as they can to get the most out of you, and I love that, and I love the atmosphere here. It's nice being close to home. a lot of the kids on the team I've played against in high school, so very familiar faces. But it was I'm happy that I ended up here because, you know, it's just been an amazing experience.
So Gary Anderson recruited you to Wisconsin and left before you got there. What's your relationship like with him? Is there any animosity going into this game for you?
No. I mean, I haven't talked to him, you know. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, it feels like. But I'll probably go say hi to him after the game and, you know, ask him how he's doing and everything. But I mean, I have a new coach, and that's just, you know, I'm happy where I'm at. And, you know, a lot of things went down a couple of years ago, but, you know, that's college football. That's life. Things happen. You know, you just got to be able to react and grow and learn from them. So there's not much animosity between us. It's just like, hey, and I'll still wave and say what up to him, but I'm not going to, like, go give him a hug or anything, you know. Like, he's at the end of the day, we're playing them this week, so.
You were one of, I think, 3 guys to take snaps under center against Utah State and Logan last time. What was that game like? I mean, do you think about that game at all? So?
Yeah, we watch film just because, you know, you want to watch and see what worked last year and what might work this year. You know, we have different personnel and different things going on, but when you focus on yourself, you don't really want to focus on the opponent too much. You just kind of want to worry about what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what you need to build off of. You know, you go in each day practicing, getting better at things that you think will, you know, give you the best outcome at the end of the week. So we focus on last year just to get like a head start on what we need to do, but this is just another game that, you know, there might be a little more emotion into this game because it is Utah State, and we do want to get a win against them, you know, but I feel like we have good momentum right now coming off of a bye week, and we've worked hard and prepared hard, so we'll see what happens this weekend.
Last question.
Do you lobby to throw the ball to get an opportunity to throw it again?
Yeah, I'd love to throw the ball. I mean, that's fun, right? And that's what any quarterback, I guess, or anyone taking the snap wants to do. So if that's in the play calling, then I'm going to do it. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's what the coaches feel is the best thing for our team. And if they want me to go out in there and throw the ball, then I'm going to do it.
Thanks, Austin.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.